Hey everyone, Kingdom Kid here with the first update of 2025. That is something crazy to say if I'm being completely honest. I can't believe we're already past 2024 and now we're into 2025, and that's crazy. I'm expecting some big things hopefully in 2025 in terms of games. Hopefully my personal life gets a little bit better too. Not that my personal life is bad by any stretch of imagination, but we've all had issues like that every now and then. Just in general, I hope things improve for everyone in 2025 and things in general, no matter what it is. But that's not what this video is about. This video is to talk about stuff to look forward to on the main channel, which is the Kingdom Kid channel, and then the RPG Kingdom Kid channel, which is where I do all my gameplays from. So the first things first, what I usually do on the first update of a new year is I go through the past year's entire catalog of games. I'm not going to go through a lot of them. I'll go through some of the big ones, of course, but it's a lot of stuff because, it's a 12-month span. And I'll save most of that stuff for in my top 10 games of the year and my runner-ups games and such. I forgot what it's called off the top of my head, what I call it, but that's stuff for those end of the year videos, which is what I'm working on those now today, and I worked on them a little earlier as well in the day or in the week. Hopefully, I would like to have them released this weekend. My top 10 being on the Saturday, and my runner-up / consideration, whatever I can't remember what they're called right now, on Sunday. If it works that way. If it doesn't work that way, maybe the following Saturday and Sunday, because I'd like to release them like that if possible. So first things first, let's go through the entire year of 2024. I'm only going to be talking about the games I've written down on here. There might have been some games that didn't make this list, that should have made the list maybe, but I can't quite remember. I usually do try to go back on the last 3 years or the 3 months when I start the next update, which these updates come every quarter of the year, so we always get 4 updates. So yeah. Anyway, January we had Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I did not pick up that game. We had another Code Recollection. I did pick up that game, but I'm actually curious if do I want to make a series out of this, or is this a game I want to do on my own time? I did play a little bit of the first game, the original game on the DS. The second one never came out to the West for us, so yeah. Little Guardsman was a big surprise to me, if I'm being completely honest. That was a game that I really loved, and it's definitely on my top 10 list, so be on the lookout for that. Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy, I need to pick that up. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, another game that I loved, and then Tekken 8 as well. I have nothing in it, but Infinite Wealth, fantastic. I can't wait to see what's next for the Like a Dragon series, so yeah, let's do that. In February, on the 1st, we had Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. I know that was a game that was very interesting, or I was curious about, but I never picked it up. Persona 3 Reload came out on the 2nd. Love that game. I love the Persona series as much, and Persona 3 is still my favorite Persona game, if I'm being completely honest. And Reload just really took the cake. I know there's a lot of issues with the DLC, and of course with no FEMC and all that stuff, but yeah. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That is a game that came and went. And yeah. Foam Stars, another game that kind of came and went. Helldivers 2, a game that was going to come and came out strong, and then a lot of controversy, not really controversy, but a lot of bullshit went on when it came to Steam and all that stuff, and I think it died for a while, but then during the Game Awards they announced the next update, so I think it's coming back up now, which is pretty cool. Banisher's Ghost of New Eden. I remember this game, and I was actually quite curious about it, but I did not pick it up. Tomb Raiders 1 and 3 remastered. Pretty interesting. Spirit Hunter Deathmark 2. I have played the first, or I haven't played the first one, but I'd like to play the first one because it seems very interesting. So yeah, and then the second one came out. Mario vs. Donkey Kong for the Switch, and Skull and Bones came out on the 16th. I didn't play those. Penny's Big Breakaway. That was a game that looked very interesting to me. I did not pick it up though. Shiren the Wanderer, the Mysterious Dungeon of Serpent Coil Island. That was another game that looks interesting. Did not pick that up. Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons remake came out on the 28th. I remember the original, but I never played the original either. But I mean, it looks nice. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, fantastic game. Fantastic game. Really fun game to love. Or no, I was talking about Rebirth. No, Rebirth is great, and I'm actually curious to see what they're going to do with Part 3. And they say there's a lot. They already have stuff coming for Part 3, so it's going to be fucking nuts if we end up getting the entirety Final Fantasy VII trilogy before we get Kingdom Hearts 4 or anything about Kingdom Hearts 4. Literally, we had Kingdom Hearts 3, and then we'll have the Final Fantasy VII trilogy, and then Kingdom Hearts 4. It's like, I don't think we're gonna. I think Part 3 of Final Fantasy VII will come in 2027 at the earliest, is my guess. March, As Dusk Falls came to the PlayStation on the 7th. On the 8th, we had WWE 2K24 and Unicorn Overlord. I freaking love that game. That game is fantastic. I also think that was a game that was like, it had a good few weeks and then kind of just, fell off. Love that game. It is fantastic, and it's a great game too. Unfortunately, there's no plans for any DLC or a sequel that Vanillaware mentions, which, I mean, who knows? You never know. I think it was a fantastic game, so I loved it. Hi-Fi Rush came to the PlayStation 5 either on the 18th or the 19th. I do want to pick that game up, but I want a physical copy of it. And then, of course, that whole debacle with that whole studio was a bad thing, too. Dragon's Dogma 2, Princess Peach's Showtime, and Rise of the Ronin all came out on the 22nd. I've only played 2 of those games, although I did play Dragon's Dogma 1, and I really enjoyed that, so I might pick up Dragon's Dogma 2 maybe after they do like a Dark Arisen version of it, kind of similar to what they did with the first Dragon's Dogma. Princess Peach's Showtime was fun for what it was, I'd say. Rise of the Ronin was okay, too. I actually enjoyed playing that as well. South Park Snow Day came out on the 26th. I wasn't really too interested in it, but I played on there anyway. In April, we had Freedom Planet 2 came out on the 4th. I thought it was very interesting because Freedom Planet is a pretty cool game series. On the 18th, we had the Final Fantasy 16 Rising Tide DLC, Fire Emblem Leviathan, which was awesome. Love that. On the 23rd, we had Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes, which I did want to pick that game up, but I just never got the time to it. And we also had Tales of Kenzara Zao came out. Fantastic. I like that game too. It was really fun. I did a series on that too. Go check that out. On the 26th, we had Saga Emerald Beyond. I played the demo for that, and I wasn't too keen on how it was and such, so I never really picked it up. We had another Crab's Treasure that came out on 25th as well. I enjoyed that game. It was really fun. Nice Souls-like game. And then on 26th, we had Sandland and Stellar Blade. I liked both of those games. They were both fun as hell. I really enjoyed Stellar Blade for the combat and the story and, just the exploration. I know a lot of people goon over Eve, but I really liked the story and the gameplay of it too. And it's a really fun game, and kudos to the studio behind it too, that being their first game, so that's awesome. In May, we had Animal Well, Crow County, and Little Kitty Big City all came out on the 9th. I never picked up any of those games, although Animal Well I've heard is really good. Same with Crow Country. And Little Kitty Big City is a really short game from what I've heard, so yeah. On 21st, we had Susuna's Saga Hellblade 2 and System Shock Remake. I did not pick up either of those. I don't have the means to play Susuna's Saga, so yeah. And on the 23rd, we had Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door remake came out. I fucking love that game. That game is fantastic. Still my favorite Paper Mario game. I hope they bring Super Paper Mario over, because I think that's the best story in terms of the original 3 trilogy of the Paper Mario games. And then we had Multiverses come out on the 28th. In June, we had Octopath Traveler come out for PlayStation and Octopath Traveler 2 come out for Xbox. So basically, Octopath Traveler and Octopath Traveler 2 was available for everything now. Both of them are fantastic games. I actually am considering picking both of those games up for my PlayStation because, yeah, they're that great. We had Monster Hunter Stories 1 and 2. 1 came out for Windows, Switch, PlayStation, and the 2 came out for PlayStation 4. I don't know if it was out beforehand or not. We had Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance come out on the 14th as well. Fantastic. I really enjoyed the changes that they made with it, and I feel like that's the most changes that Atlus has ever made in terms of a, kind of like an enhanced version. Persona 4 had Golden, Persona 3 had FES, and Persona 4, Persona 5 had Royal. Royal, I think, had the most out of all of them, considering. And then Vengeance, had a whole new route with 2 new endings, new character. Even though it was still somewhat similar, it still was good overall. Super Monkey Ball Banana Ramble came out on the 25th. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD came out on the 27th. Spy Anya Operation Memories came out on the 28th. And that is June. We are now in July. We're halfway through the year. Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail and the first Descendant came out on the 2nd. I really like Dawn Trail. I know a lot of people didn't, but I still enjoyed it. And I don't know why, but people just didn't like Wook Lamont for whatever reason. I'm like, this is the character. She's straight up a shonen protagonist, so here's what it is. The Legends of Heroes Trail Through Daybreak came out on the 5th. I do want to get into that series. I know the remake of Trails in the Sky, first chapter, is coming out fall of this year, so it's going to take a while. But I know I could probably, start with, Cold Steel and all that stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Darkest Dungeon 2 came out on the 15th. Bow, Path of the Teal Lotus, and Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn came out on the 18th. And Katsumi Gaim, Path of the Goddess came out on the 19th. I think Katsumi Gami, Path of the Goddess is a game that's going to be packaged in with Okami HD remake later on, sometime this year for PlayStation. I think it released for everything else a few weeks ago, but I think for PlayStation still needs to come out or something like that, which is weird. So yeah, I know I was interested in all those games right there. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, it looked interesting, and I think it looked cool too. I looked at a few gameplays for it. So yeah. August, we had Cat Quest 3. I did not pick that game up. I did, however, do a Let's Play of Cat Quest 1 and 2. Eventually, I will do Cat Quest 3 at some point. Kena Bridge of Spirits came out on Xbox. Black Myth Wukong came out on the 20th. Love that game. That game was fun as hell too. Another kind of Souls-like game in a way. Definitely need to get back into that game to, just play around with it, get the rest of the trophies. I think I might want to wait till DLC comes out. I know they plan on DLC, but yeah. Concord came out on the 23rd, and then it went away like a week later, that's a whole debacle right there. So hopefully with Astro's Playroom and the success that had, Sony and PlayStation and all other gaming companies realize as well, okay, we don't need to, I love the trailer, but then as soon as it says, hey, this is a 5v5 hero shooter, I'm like, all right, I don't care anymore. That's literally everyone felt that way. It's like, oh, if it was a single player, it probably would have been fine, but nope. Visions of Mana and Emio the Smiling Man Famicom Detective Club both came out on the 29th. I did not play Emio the Smiling Man yet, but Visions of Mana, holy shit, I love that game. I think that is still the best looking game that came out this year. Visually, it was just stunning and wonderful, and I loved it. I love that game. That game is it's a fun game too. Star Wars Outlaws came out on the 30th. I was somewhat interested in that, but then, I just never really went through it. September, Harry Potter Quidditch Championships came out on the 3rd. Astrobot and Ace Attorney Investigation Collection both came out on the 6th. Freaking love Astrobot. Did a whole series on that, obviously, so you guys can check that out. And Ace Attorney Investigation, I would love to pick that up and play that. Because, yeah, I enjoyed it. I would enjoy that. I like the Ace Attorney games. Lollipop Chainsaw Repop came out on the 12th. I did not pick that up. I might at some point. Funko Fusion came out on the 13th. The less we talk about that, the better. The Plucky Squire came out on the 17th. Another fun little indie game. And I enjoyed that game too. It was really fun. And I enjoyed it. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster came out on the 19th. I do enjoy the Dead Rising games. I don't know if I'd ever play this one though. Maybe at some point. Epic Mickey Rebrush came out on the 24th. The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom came out on the 26th. I enjoyed the Echoes of Wisdom. It's fun. Finally get to play as Zelda for the first time in so many years in like a main stay. So yeah. Raynantis came out on the 27th. I enjoyed that game. I want to say that flat out, even though towards the end of my live stream series of it, it might have, fallen down the wayside. But I still did enjoy that game. It was fun. And I will never, it had so many, like, the battle designs from Devil May Cry, Kingdom Hearts, Yoko Shimomura. Just the people that came around for that was really great, in my opinion. We are in October, which is a big-ass month. Master Detective Archived Rank Code Plus came out on the 1st, which basically means it came out for everything. Until Dawn remake and SpongeBob SquarePants the Patrick Star game came out. I wasn't really too interested in either of them. Silent Hill 2 came out on the 8th. I would really like to play that game. It's one of those games that, like, I'm interested in it, but there were so many other games coming out that I was more, interested in, like these games. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, fantastic game, love it. And Metaphor ReFantazio. I will say this right now, that is Atlus Magnum Opus right now, and I am so looking forward to everything else. I mean, I always look forward to whatever Atlus does, but with Metaphor, I'm even more like, yes, give me more of this, because I loved it. I don't know what they'll do in terms of following up on that series. I know the creator just came out a while ago. It's like they're trying to find a way, because he would love to make it into a series, like Persona and Shin Megami Tensei, and I'm all for that. And he just got to find a way to make it work, and I'm all for that. On the 17th, we had Super Mario Party Jamboree and A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead. I did not play A Quiet Place. I know I've seen a lot of clips of that, so it's really cool. And of course, Super Mario Party, which is fun. On the 25th, we had Call of Duty Black Ops 6, no one cares, and Sonic Shadow Generations. I'm actually quite curious about maybe picking that game up, so we'll see. On the 29th, we had Life is Strange Double Exposure. I like the Life is Strange games. I still need to finish Life is Strange 2. Then I need to do 3, which is True Colors, and now Double Exposure, The Return of Max, so that's always got me right there, so. And on the 31st, we had Dragon Age The Veilguard, Shadows of the Damned, Hella Remastered, and Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster. Didn't pick up any of those games. Though I will say, if you have not played the Horizon Zero Dawn games, play those games. Those games are fun, so just give them a chance, please. November was a quiet month. We had Mario & Luigi Brothership, a nice, fun game of the Mario & Luigi RPG series, which are fun games, so I like those games. Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. Love that game so much. I'm still having a blast playing that game, even though the series is done. I'm just, doing everything else that I need to do for the, getting all the trophies and such, which I don't have much left. I believe I just need to beat a few things here and there, and then we'll be good. Lego Horizons Adventures. I might pick that up at some point. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's just kind of like a retelling of the Horizon games in Lego forms or just some wacky adventures for Lego games. Yeah. And then we had December. December is usually a quiet month, and this one's no different. But we had Marvel's Rivals come out on the 6th. We had the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I've heard nothing but great things about that game, so I'm very looking forward to picking that up when it comes out to PlayStation 5 later this year in spring. I'm sure, I don't know. Spring usually starts sometime in March, so yeah, definitely looking forward to that. And the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remaster came out on the 10th. Oh, and then Fantasia Neo Dimension came out on the 6th as well, I believe. Or even on the 5th. I can't remember when it came out. But yeah, that's a game that we are currently playing on the channel, as well as Soul Reaver. We're in Soul Reaver 2 right now. So there you go. That was 2024. And now let's go into the first 3 months of 2025. I'm going to talk about the games that are coming out and what I like to do with them, if anything at all. And of course, like I said, we're still doing Fantasia, Neo Dimension, and we're still doing Soul Reaver, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. Both of those are still going strong on the channel here, or on the other channel. So, all right, it's kind of slow months. This first 3 months or first 2 months are kind of slow. Depends on. January is a little slow this year, if I'm being honest. And again, I'm only going to mention games that I'm interested in or in such. So while there are other games that are coming out, there might not be a game that I mentioned. This game, however, I'm very interested in because I played the original version of it, so I can't wait for this. Freedom Wars Remastered. I loved Freedom Wars, the first game, and I can't wait for this because I want to play it so badly. It's a great game. I might make that into a series. Depends on how much we have left of Legacy of Kain. We might actually be very close to beating that game. So then Freedom Wars will just be starting right off there. I have no idea how far we are from beating Fantasia Neo Dimension, but yeah. Then we have Donkey Kong Country Returns on the 16th. I might pick that game up. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. Dynasty Warriors Origins and Tales of F Remastered both come out on the 17th. I'm not too... I may or may not pick up the Tales of F Remastered. I think that's a good one. Like, the earlier ones are pretty good. Dynasty Warriors Origins does look interesting to me. I am a big fan of the Dynasty Warrior games, but I don't know. But even if I did pick them up, I don't think I'd do a series with them, if I'm being honest. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming to PC on the 23rd, which is awesome. And Spider-Man 2 is coming out on the 30th for Windows. And I would assume PC. I don't know why I didn't specify. February, we have Assassin's Creed Shadows and Date Everything coming out on the 14th. Yes, that's right. Assassin's Creed Shadows was originally supposed to come out on November 15th. My birthday, by the way. But then it got delayed. Now it's coming out on Valentine's Day. Woo. Date Everything. Going to Assassin's Creed Shadows. I don't know. I do like the Assassin's Creed games, but they've kind of fallen down the wayside for me, if I'm being completely honest. I may pick this up. I don't know. It kind of all depends on how I'm feeling and such. But yeah. Date Everything, though, looks fucking funny as hell. And I am going to pick that up. I don't know if I'll do a series of it or not, but we'll see. Avowed is coming out on the 18th. I believe Avowed was supposed to come out earlier this year. Or later this year, you know, sometime in the whatever. But yeah, it looks interesting, but it's only an Xbox, at least for now anyway, game. So yeah. On the 21st, we have Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. I'm very looking forward to that. That's basically another Yakuza Gaiden game. So I'm very, very excited for that. I'm actually curious then, will we have another Like a Dragon game come out this year? I know they're working on Project Century, which I'm fine. I'm fine if this is the only Like a Dragon game we get this year, but we'll see. We did get both, we didn't get them both, but we got The Man Who Erased His Name, and then we had Infinite Wealth come out in like a span of like 3 months. So on the 27th, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days Collection. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! And there's some early games in there that I used to play, and I definitely am probably going to pick that up. And then probably the big one of the month, if I'm being completely honest, is Monster Hunter Wilds. I know a lot of people of the Monster Hunter games. I never really got too into it. I know I played a demo of, I believe it's Monster Hunter Worlds, and I just couldn't really get into it. So, but I'm happy for the people that like it. March has Split Fiction coming out on the 6th, which looks like a fantastically fun game made by the same guy who made It Takes Two and, you know, Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, and also A Way Out. I want to pick this game up so bad, but you do have to play it with another player, which isn't the worst thing, but yeah. And Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remasters coming out. I freaking love Suikoden. I played the first one. I can't remember if I played the second one or not. I just know for sure I played the first one because my friend had the first one. And I don't remember if he had the second one or not. But Suikoden's fun. And if I think, you know, that I mentioned the Eiyuden Chronicle games. I believe those are kind of like somewhat of a spiritual successor to Suikoden games. So I believe that's pretty cool. So that's awesome. I can't wait. That will probably be a series. So be on the lookout for that. Another game that's going to be a series is on the 20th is Xenoblade Chronicles 8X Remastered, which is great. That's literally, there's only like one more thing from the Wii U that needs to be ported to the Switch or Switch 2, which I'll talk about that in a little bit too. That and then, you know, the Wii U is kind of like, all right, there they go. So then, yeah, I'm very excited for that. I believe Xenoblade Chronicles X came out before Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and there was kind of like a cliffhanger, so they did add on stuff there too. So there's kind of improvements there, which is interesting. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Bleach Rebirth of Souls is coming out on the 21st. Now, you guys may not know this, but I am a Bleach fan. The anime Bleach is really awesome anime. I need to catch up on the 1,000 Year War arc here. I only watched part 1, and I believe part 3 just ended or is about to end. So I need to do that. And I need to see some gameplay. I believe there's some small gameplay about this game, but I would love to see more of it, and I might pick it up. And then the first Berserker Kaizen is coming out on the 27th. That might be a live stream series game. So there's that. Yeah, Switch 2, there's a rumor that within the first week of January, you know, I think like January 1st through January 10th, there's a rumor that Nintendo will have a direct to talk about the Switch 2, and then the Switch 2 will release in March, kind of similar to how the Switch did. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. I think they said spring. They will announce, you know, they will announce the Switch successor before spring, which starts in March. And then I don't know when they say they'll be released. I think it just says in 2025, which is fine by me. But yeah, and then in terms of live streams, so As I mentioned, we're still doing Fantasia, Dimension, and we're still doing Soul Reaver, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. Those are still going strong. Freedom Wars is for sure going to be a live Let's Play series. Nothing else in January right now off the top of my head. Data Everything will be a series. Obviously, like a Dragon, Pirate, Yakuza. I may do a few things with Yu-Gi-Oh! May or may not. It depends. Suikoden and Xenoblade Chronicles X will all be series. And then, of course, the first Berserker might be a live stream series. Going back to live streams, I know I mentioned I wanted to do a live stream of Sparking Zero. I did not do that one, and that's my fault. I just never really found time because I've been somewhat behind on all my series right now, if I'm being honest. I like to be at least a few days ahead, but with the holidays and, just having some issues here and there, they all kind of fell on the wayside a little bit, which it is what it is. And in terms of live streams, I don't plan on doing anything right now. There might be, I think the next update for Final Fantasy XIV will probably come out sometime between January and March. So when that does release, I will do that. Black Myth Wukong and Stellar Blade, if they have story DLC stuff, I might jump back into those. Depends on what they are like. I know Stellar Blade had the Nier Automata DLC, but it was just kind of more so of a cosmetic thing. I don't think there's really anything story related that came out of it, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. So yeah, live streams are kind of on the slow end right here, which is not bad by any stretch of imagination, but when we get to the first Berserker, I think that will be a live stream series for sure. So yeah, and like I mentioned before, I'm going to try my best to get my Game of the Year and my honorable mentions. That's what it is, honorable mentions. I would like to try to get my top 10 games of 2024 released on Saturday on the 4th, and then my honorable mentions on the 5th. If not, I'll try for the 11th and 12th. So there's that. But yeah, guys, thank you all so much. We are actually very close, and we might have actually hit it on the other channel. We're at 1,400, 1,400 subscribers, which is great. If we can get to 1,500 by the end of 2025, that'd be great. Even more would be even better. As close to 2,000 as we could get, that'd be great. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching this update video. Let me know what you all are looking forward to in 2025, and if there's any games I did not mention, which ones are you looking forward to as well? And what do you think about the Switch 2? Are you going to pick it up? Are you looking forward to whenever Nintendo does do their Direct? Let me know. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you guys next time.